It's the Caitlin Lee MTG Show.
Once Upon a Time could be lands-ish. It does wheel a lot. If this was unstipped, I would be taking that Ajani. That Ajani is very good. I'm looking to be like Boros or Mardu or something. Naya, maybe. With a lands deck, doing a lands stip. I think I want to pack one, pick one, the Stomping Ground. Don't even have anything too lands-based in the opener. But putting ourselves into red-green, putting ourselves into like Valakut and like Ren in 6 colors, I mean, it just makes sense, right? Yeah, there's Wooded Foothills. Vamp Tutor's interesting. There's a Dryad here. I'm gonna take the Wooded Foothills and hope to wield the Dryad. A lot of the land synergies need cards like Dryad because they're like Valakut or whatever, but a lot of land synergies need fetches. You're comboing off with Crucibles and the like. Titania, perfect. I was just talking about needing fetches, right? This is the perfect example. Just gonna snag up this Reclaimer. Particularly ideal if we end up doing Dark Depth stuff, but even now it's like letting me trigger Titania and the like. It's easier if you go above 40 cards, Patron Saint. Yeah, you can definitely do it. Get a bunch of duels. The new 6? Yeah, I got to play with that card a little bit earlier. It was good. I'm gonna grab Growth Chamber out of this pack. Could easily end up being a Soul Land deck. Or Karoo Land, rather. It is infrequent, Patron Saint. To better answer your question. Ooh, what do you do here, So Grazier's really good with Growth Chamber. Primetime, Golos, Sowing Mycospawn, those all seem very reasonable too. I think it's been too long since we've had Primetime. I'm gonna snag it. Yeah, right, the whole pack there. Thinking about Steve. Angry's cute with Primetime. Shifting Woodland is one of those potential Dark Depths cards. Also not a bad one to grab with Primetime. Let's try it, huh? Let's try the new card. I like Paradise Druid the most. Territorial Akavu has land synergies. They don't look like they're land synergies that we're leaning into, though, do they? Just gonna grab a Dork. Oh, the Landfall Critter, maybe. Maybe. I ended up cutting the Landfall Critter from my Fastpawn deck the other day. I think you want to be an aggro deck for that card. People passing up on a Johnny don't know what they're missing. The card's fucked. Card is fucked up. Pillage the Bog. Sort of works with lands. Portico bin stuff. Could help get Delirium for Woodland with it. Or we could just take the Caryatid. The issue with the Caryatid is I don't want to just be like some fucking ramp deck, right? I want to be land synergy specifically. Suppose. Almost like the Hagak. You do not need to have other red permanents for a Johnny to be worth it. But it's obviously better if you're like bolting stuff. It goes from being like very good to like cracked out of its mind. Thinking about Excavator, thinking about the Taiga. I guess we already have Stomping Ground, and no red cards. Guess that narrows the the options here. Haybex thinks the sub, thinks the 23 months. There's another fetch there, and there's Scape Shift here too. Note that the Dryad did not wheel last pack. Someone might have their eye on my Valakuts. You would think Scape Shift would be the sort of card to wheel. Fetches are pretty good with Titania. Maybe we need more fetches. Nissa uses lands. It's not like a very lands type card. Planar Genesis can ramp, right? Chaka, chaka. Gonna be 3 cards left. I kind of want to grab the Gruul Turf if I'm going to play this Grazer. The most fun MH3 card for me, it's been Paragoyf so far, but there's a lot of good ones, and I haven't had a chance to play with a lot of them very much. I imagine that Psychic Frog or whatever is probably flooding Cube. Good Thundering Falls here. Torsten draws a shit pile of lands. Does require white mana. Thinking about Deathrite. Deathrite or an Excavator are a little bit at odds, but Deathrite can also hit the opponent's stuff. Guess I'll do this. Yes. Suppose. Yeah, definitely wouldn't be able to play Valakut and the bounce lands. Feels like I should have another booster by now, huh? There's a big stack. Big stack held up in there. Hello, red and 6. Got a couple fetches for that one. Entomb is interesting. The Taiga Wheel, sure. Yeah, remember that there's a Scape Shift in this pack and it disappeared. So someone's got Dryad and Scape Shift. There's a good chance there's not a Valakut for me. I think we could make Valakut work even without Dryad. With the number of red duels that we have here. Oh well, Think about Waterlogged Grove. Through the Reach Primetime is actually sick. I'm gonna do that. Nissa came back, sure. Plateau is interesting with the Torsten. Let's be casted. Are we gonna fight vampires in a nightclub? Oh, that's a very different track. Now that's vampire fighting music. All we are missing is a sprinkler system full of blood. Yeah, I've been saying this. I've been saying this for a while. I guess Black Lotus gets me to fucking primetime faster. Crop rotation isn't really doing much here. The art on Black Lotus looks weak. I like a nice minimalist art piece every once in a while. Not everything has to be all fancy. I am wearing a Thing shirt, yeah. I saw a quote tweet referencing the Thing the other night. The tweeter was very convinced that after watching the film, they would have a better name for the monster than the Thing. And a few hours later, response, nope, that was right. That was a thing. That was an aptly named. that was correct. Arena of Glory giving primetime haste is sweet. I'm just going to take the Thespian stage. I can still hope. Yeah, Thespian stage works if we find Dark Depths, or it'd be a good one with Field, right? Let me copy Field. Hey, JH James, 46 months there. I think I'm just grabbing Misty. Real bummer that we didn't get a fast spawn, of course. Yavimaya is cool with neither Reliquary. It doesn't really do much here. I think I'm just taking a Swords. We have enough white mana with the Jetmir's Garden. And we need playables. We need actual cards here. Could take the Archon. Could take the Archon for something through the breach. Or just cast. Just be a stupid ramp deck. Maybe that's better. We have a Proving Ground. It's like 1 black source. Kinda hate it. Archon's just not especially landsy, you know what I mean? But it might be a spot where I just have to grab cards. Oh, Safekeeper and Titania is a combo. Let's jam that. It's no, what's the word? It's no Zuranor, but it is at least a land combo. Field of the Dead, perfect. I was like, Courser, okay. Earl, okay. Yeah, here we are. Now the prime time's worth ramping into. Now all of our land picks kind of make sense. Deck just got a lot better, Thinking about if this Mystical Tutor does anything for me. I guess it finds Through the Breach. Little mopey, Life is land synergy. Hey, Duke Wiggles, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 64 months. Shall we draft a Huatli? Suppose. The double white on Flage seems difficult. Okay. We are still a mite short on playables. Maybe I have to play that Planar Genesis. Does Bring to Light do anything for me? I guess I jam it, I guess I jam it. Sure, why not? Creature, instant, or sorcery. So you can find me my Titanium. Or my Through the Reach. Maybe that's fine. Maybe that's good. Playables are overrated. I feel like that is indeed the theme of this deck. Playables are overrated. Selfless Spirit and Wrath is a combo. Not a great combo, but it's a combo. I think I'm cutting Thundering Falls. Even though it's nice to be able to fetch out filtering sometimes. We gotta make room for some basics, Yeah, I guess Thundering Falls is my only fetchable island for Leyline and Bring to Light. Yeah, I literally can't play the Bring to Light without it. But I do need some basics in here for like Vista and such. As much as I like Arwen with Wrath, I think that's going to be a cut. Maybe I'll sideboard the Wrath, keep the Brawler in. I do like the Wrath as part of a Bring to Light package. Is Woodlands tough? I think I play this, right? It's something for the primetime to grab, and then if they kill my primetime, I can have it become the primetime. Are you talking about Delirium? I mean, we have like Lotus and like lands are easy because we have fetches. And then a creature just has to die, right? We play any spell at all. Woodland's only copying Field of the Dead if the opponent wastelands it, right? I agree with Thespian Stage, though. Maybe I don't play the bounce lands, even though I've got this Grazer. Maybe I play a lot of lands, but not the bounce lands. We're getting a lot of extra land drops from Wrenn and 6 and Excavator and the fetches anyway. So we just like take those out. Keep Arwen in. Play 4 basics. How many forests do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This deck has a hard time casting Archon, right? I guess we have 2 mana dorks that tap for any color in the Proving Ground. It'd be nice if our lands could tap for it, but I don't want to play a basic swamp. How many red sources is this? So there's no basic island here for the Bring to Light. We'll be leaning on the Thundering Falls. Kind of hard. But we also, again, have Paradise Druid and Sylvan Caryatid, so maybe that's okay. And several fetches that find in the Thundering Falls. Yeah, I could see wanting to tutor up Growth Chamber with Reclaimer too, depending on some draws. The best thing that Once Upon a Time could find would be Grazer with his opener, I think. I guess it's just field. Yeah, I'm just going like Safekeeper Guard next turn. Maybe they'll turn some of my cards into 3/3s, thus improving my card quality. It seems unlikely, doesn't it? If our hand was a bit more explosive, if we were actually doing that ramp thing, Field of the Dead could overwhelm an Oko pretty easily. The issue is they have a turn 2 Oko, and we're not triggering this Field of the Dead until like turn 7, right? Seems a smidge slow. I have not, is the term. When I was in college, I had a friend who who was a little eccentric, and he had a wide selection of herbs and the like, and he called himself like a healing shaman. Had all these weird remedies for things. But sometimes we would have a few drinks together, and he'd be like, "Caleb, you need to try DMT. You've gotta." And I'd be like, "All right, man, sure, whatever." And he's like, "No, you're not ready." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine too." We'd say nothing about it for like weeks. Get drunk again. "Caleb, you gotta try DMT. I've got so much DMT. You need to try. This will change your life." I'm like, sure, whatever. No, you're not ready. Okay, dude. No skin off my back. Was never really anything that thing that I looked out for, right? Not a thing that I was searching for. That was indeed the same guy that invited the church guys in, Helior. What is DMT? Hallucinogen. I'm not really sure what each letter stands for. Crack in the Grove. Portal's got to be kind of flooded over there, huh? Hey, Birdo thinks the sub thinks the 16 months. Possibly I want the Reclaimer to fetch out a fetch, give the Excavator something to do. Still have land drops here, though. I might want to lead on Augur next turn. I can also play the Growth Chamber and crack 2 clues. Sure. That resolves. Right, that's a card in my deck. Of course. Oh, go down, I guess. That's gotta be like... I thought I was just dead to that fucking thing, that Oko. I was like, there's no fucking way. And then they just had nothing, and my tracker got to kill it, and they stole my Reclaimer. I guess the Reclaimer is going to now tutor up Gaia's Cradle. That's the only way this makes sense, right? That's not just some huge loss in tempo. What's their other album called? Heroes of the Imagination. Let's jam that. Oh, this is terrifying, huh? Yeah, I'll trade. Yeah, they could have been scared of depths. Is this the Tireless Tracker show? We still haven't triggered Feel the Dead. Do I like high beat per minute music? Sometimes. A lot of times, music is deceptive. High energy stuff can sound like it's super high BPM, and then it'll end up like not being that. There's just like a lot of notes there, or the tempo sounds driving, you know? There were some Trampled by Turtles tracks that I thought were just gonna have like the highest BPM ever, and I looked them up and they were like normal rock songs. It's more tempting than it should be, huh? This Wrath. I'm probably thrilled that I finally cashed in my Tireless Tracker. Am I casting this Archon? I mean, I've got a Paradise Druid in hand. We have a fetchable Black Source in here, too, which the Thespian stage could copy. Why no Leyline on the Reclaimer and attack the Nissa? Because the Tireless... So the Leyline cost me 3 mana, right? The Tireless Tracker was only a 4x. To make the Tireless Tracker a 6x, enough to clear the the Nissa, I would have had to spend 4 mana on it. I didn't have 7 mana that turn. So I attacked the Nissa, made them chump with the Reclaimer, right? Because otherwise I would have had the 4 mana to crack 2 clues to clear it. And then once they chumped with the Reclaimer, I just leylined the Nissa anyway. It's a good question. I did think it through before jamming. Sure. Yeah, Samson. I've never seen them. I've never seen them live. I would love to. I do know that sometimes they jam their instruments and such. Cool. Whatever that game was. They played an Oko on turn 2 and then did nothing and died. Not what I expected. And then I can turn to this P-Druid. And then we'll have 4 mana, which is not enough to play a Nissa, but maybe we'll draw another land here. Perfect. We can even play that tap this turn, huh? How did I play a Grave Titan last game? I did not. Oh, you're joking about primetime getting... Yeah, sure. Not a bad little turn 3 there, huh? I feel like that turn 3 means this was a successful land step, If you're triggering Field of the Dead on turn 3, you probably pulled it off. I don't think I need binding this turn. Yeah, get that prime time back in there. I guess. Not stoked about this one. Reclaimer's interesting. Can tutor up the bounce land on turn 2. Could just take a fetch here and fetch a tri-land and can just go turn 2 Caryatid and then be like set up for leyline binding. That's probably better, huh? Can a red deck get through Grazer Caryatid? Oh, and in this cube, yeah. There's only like 3 or 4 red 1-drops. All the cards are like Inti or Lelia that draw cards while growing and shit. It's all like super fucked up. Cannot hide behind a 0-3. If you're lucky, Caryatid like makes Ragavan look bad, right? That's the dream. Bunch of fucking monsters out there, exactly. Bunch of goddamn giant monsters. I think I need the garden. It's unfortunate because it has a lot of Taiga overlap, but it'll give me my second white source for Wrath if I need a Wrath on 3 or something desperate. Maybe it's supposed to augur next turn. I guess I don't hate that. Yeah, I think they'd have to do something pretty impressive here before I'd have to panic Wrath. Fair enough. Panic Wrath it is. What am I still land drop that turn too? Might just be a really good Wrath. The Emperor of Bones, sure. Yeah, we kind of deal with it. Got to deal with that like fucking right now. Or do we? Ha-ha! And in the ley line bind them. All right. Better than Grave Titan. We're getting like 4 2/2s here, right? Hell yeah, Strat. There's probably a way to get Nissa in there too, but I was just fucking hyper focused on the lands thing. Main deck Wrath of God kind of fucking showing up, huh? Thinking about the Seraph. Thinking if I want Seraph in for some reason. Let me cut Auguring. Primetime and Grave Titan are sick together, but I think the hand is too slow. The hand is too slow otherwise. I'm going to send it back. Then we need something, right? Something to do before turn 3. Something that's not a 1-mana 1-1. No offense. This looks much better. Don't have a white source for Arwen, but I think I'm still going to bin the Archon. Olirade disapproves, yeah, right? I love that that guy's still involved with Magic. All the invitational winners and Hall of Famers and stuff. Our lack of white mana. It's looking a little troublesome. I think Razor might actually be good here. I guess they can make it a 4 for him. Still no white source. The Brawler's tempting, but next turn I can just go like Tracker plus land drop. I'm just going to take the stage. I sort of should spend the Once Upon a Time because it might have impacted my land drop, right? We have a comes to play tapped white source in the deck and a Surveil land and stuff. There's things that I might have played instead of field. Bargoyf's fucked up. That's a fucked up card. God, Tracker just getting cut down. So brutal. They can activate the Emperor Bones, get the Tracker for free here. Get a Borrow hit in. I guess I'm letting it connect. Yeah, the fact that Bargoyf just draws cards on connect is pretty sick. And grows itself. Think about Arwen versus Leyline Binding here. I could Leyline Binding plus Excavator, right? Because we have black this game. That probably makes it better. Then it's like, do you want to exile the Emperor Bones or the Bargoyf? Marry that sloth. I choose immortal life. Sloth Beast is just like, The mine did collapse on the excavator. That makes sense, right? That makes sense. It does appear as though we are going to be marrying a sloth here. So the Arwen will lose Indestructible, but they'll both get +1/+1. And the Grazer will be Indestructible until end of turn. You wonder if there's a Caleb impact on cube entries. Like if I'm streaming, more people get excited about Cube and decide to jam it. Bye, Arwen. Well, we certainly have some land drops handy on their wedding night. Did they even get to consummate the? You know what? Never mind. We don't need to. That's a fucking battlefield marriage right there. What happens when the Emperor of Bones makes a Torsten? You sag at the beginning of the next end step, so they're also gonna make the fucking 1/1s here. Hey, Dat Boy Kled thinks the sub thinks so 26 months. Oh, they didn't do it. Interesting. You'll have a finality counter. Oh, so it won't trigger till exile. Fair enough. Kind of feels like this game's turning around a little bit, huh? A little bit of turnaround here. I can play the carry too. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that doesn't work for zombies though, because I already had the forest. I played the forest for turn. Fuck hum. I didn't need to either. I just threw away 4 power. Death Greeters is nasty, huh? Especially with rampaging there. At least these burn spells didn't go to their hand, huh? Fireball would have been fucking filthy. So they got Ravager, Death Greeters, and 2 lands. Yeah, that's actually why I tutored up Basic Mountain earlier this game. Was because then, like, if I drew a forest, I wouldn't miss out on my 2/2s. And then I literally did that here with the Vista. This thing doesn't have trample. What are you doing? I think they should have given the Death Greeter to the Raptor, right? Eight double strike haste. Am I missing something? Isn't this just fine? Oh yeah, they could have had Arwen in the middle there too, Get back Arwen and then activate the Arwen on the Emperor of Bones. Get back the Torsten. Or the Death Greeters, yeah. Death Greeters on the Emperor to get the Arwen back. Arwen on the Emperor to get the... Anyway. I'm just like very paranoid that I'm accidentally killing myself because I'm missing something, but I did quadruple check. Should I just do that? I feel like no. I feel like I'm ahead on board, right? I don't think swinging out and wrathing is good. I think this is better. Like, we would play our land and make 2/2s, and they would still have Death Greeter in hand. Like, that's not that good, right? So you make it a 5/5. I like that a little bit better. I'm not sure how correct it was, Snow Crash. Still had a couple more lands I could have tutored out of the deck. Having the Nissa to play after made it feel a lot better. Is this a dream? It's all a dream. Life is but a dream. Life is butts. The Ravager cometh. Is this song sampling Waking Life? I've never seen Waking Life. But it sounds like the sort of thing they'd do. Oh, why am I bouncing Growth Chamber every turn? I still have lands to play out. I don't know what's in this deck. Titanium? That's a real one, right? Do we have basics to go get with his Foothills? I think there's like one more fetchable. I could be wrong. Oh, you were talking about for the Vista? No, there's nothing for Vista. Oh, they're bolting because the Ravagers can make them discard, I see. Cool. The matches haven't exactly been fast, but we have gotten a lot of land triggers. We've gotten so many Field of Dead triggers. I'm pretty happy with the 2-0 at this point, huh? We hardcast a fucking Torst in that game. That was our plan against Mono Red. I was like, alright, I'll play this fucking 7/7. We married a sloth! It was strategically correct to, like, give up our immortality for some hot, sexy sloth beast marriage. Am I firing up another draft after this? I don't know. It's 9:40. Maybe I'll do a draft for my future self. And here I am with no Bajuka Bog. I don't have a Crocus in my deck to tutor up either. The Black Lotus is kind of interesting, huh? We're already at 7 mana towards Archon. You're playing Swamps. I guess I should run it out, huh? Might be safer in play. Skydiver is the only card I can think of that would punish me. Is Thespian Stage copying Growth Chamber Acceleration? It is. Could play the Archon here. I'm just gonna... collect my Augur value, hum. I was a little bit worried about a Shallow Grave here. The Bring to Light can go fine through the Breach. Frantic Surge, Binning, Show and Tell, and Echo is interesting. Nice to know that they have a Show and Tell in their deck. I don't like the idea of Tireless Tracker giving the opponent to loot with Shredder here. I'm just going to play my land past the turn. Yeah, I agree, Daggerhawk. I was also thinking that Edicting Atraxa could end up being important. I don't have a ton of answers to it in Atraxa. I think we just got him. One card in hand over there. Cool. Well, I was terrified after that turn 1 and 2. I was like, I'm just going to fucking die to this so hard. And then they didn't do anything, and we got to win. I guess we have Leyline Binding. That's an answer to Atraxa. Wrath is a very slow answer. So we're not like 100% cold, but it's hard. Hey, BK Dash thinks the sub thinks the 35 months. Think we're going to send this one back, huh? Think we're going to send this one back. Kind of hate this. I'm going to tutor up a white source here. Would love to be getting Thundering Falls or the Proving Ground. Interesting. The Growth Chamber. I'm not going to play it, but it's interesting. Playing the Growth Chamber prevents me from having Binding next turn. If they were to like reanimate the Troll here, I'm probably going to want to Binding it, right? And then the turn after, we could go Tracker, Growth Chamber, rebuy the Forest. Discarding Emrakul. Am I getting fucking instant speed reanimated? Fuck, I've got Leyline Binding too, but I don't have 3 mana. You see, it costs 3 and I only have 2. Pretty gross. If only we'd drawn a white source naturally, right? If we had a natural white source, then we could have gotten a complementary Tri-land, and then we would have been able to binding on 2 mana. And instead, we get to eat it. We just get to eat it. That'll do. Wild that we had the answer, the instant speed answer to Emrakul. So close, No graveyard hate to be seen. The Brawler is tempting because we could turn 1 it, right? We could crack Lotus and play Grazer, Reclaimer, and just Brawler. Thundering Falls is interesting because we could like get value out of the Surveil before sacking something to Reclaimer here. I should probably just grab the damn Jetmir's Garden. Probably what I'm supposed to do. And then I either want to get a Surveil land with this Reclaimer, or I want to go tutor up the bounce land, right? Because that would set up for Thespian Stage to ramp a bit. We are in game 3 of the finals here. So the cube's going okay. Crocus is nice versus a lot of their cards. I was thinking about copying the Growth Chamber, but I think I do want to copy the Crocus because of the instant speed reanimator aspect of their deck. Emrakul's and what's. Yeah, I don't want to rebuy that mountain this turn. I want to go get a Surveil land. Maybe I still play the Excavator. Totally fine. No, I think timeout's way more reasonable. 7, if that. Tacos 2024. No, that's a vote I can get behind. Ooh. Oh, they're gonna try and echo me hum. I am losing Titania Stomping Ground. That's a bit of a bummer. Well, let's see if this resolves. Oh, hey, Subtitanium. Duelist of the Mind. Just play that field, maybe. The Caracas bricks tutoring up through the breach. Well, let's play the land. I guess I could play that. And then they bounce it. Maybe better to play like Paradise Druid or whatever. That doesn't quite work now, huh? Because of how I tapped. Too much white mana untapped. I'm just thinking about bringing Delightford through the breach now that I have Primetime. I can just cast the Primetime. Maybe that's good. Just cast the damn thing. Yeah, that's fine. Nice trophy. That was our one trophy today. Was the fucking land stip. How about that? How about that stuff? I think everything else today has been a 2-in-1, right?